All right, guys, my name is Ruben Dua with Dub. I'm here with Noah Scott, and we're going to get into this idea of transforming a sales effort, a sales and marketing effort for a business, for a small business in this case. Noah Scott here is putting on an amazing event, actually a series of events. The website is thebigpossible.com.
That's
And
right.
this is a
Yep.
corporate retreat, right? That's happening in November. Is that right?
Yep. For entrepreneurs, executives, people just out there making waves, leaders, people who are ready to just embrace the big in their life and do something different and wild.
Nice. Very cool. Well, what I did was, just to be organized, is I put together a nice agenda here for us to kind of go through. So the first thing, let me sort of just specify a couple of things that we're going to do here. So when we think about a go-to market strategy, there's a couple of things that we can include. Number one is we can include email marketing. Another thing that we can include is advertising, YouTube, Facebook. Another thing that we can do is LinkedIn outreach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a couple of different ways to sort of optimize a Dub account to really get set up for a full go-to market strategy. So here's my agenda, sharing screen. Let's take a look here. All right, so here's our agenda right here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our Calendly page. We're going to create a call to action, make sure that the website's in there. I can actually go ahead and increase the font size here. Make sure that we have calls to action. Does that look okay?
Perfect.
All right, cool. So we can make sure that there's some nice, clear calls to action, a Calendly booking link, a website, video reply. Love video replies because it's so nice to get a message back from someone. You're very active on LinkedIn, so let's get your URL in there. You've got a podcast. Let's get a CTA for your podcast. And then, of course, your Dub partner link, create an environment where you can create recurring commissions for yourself if people sign up for Dub. Cool op. Next thing we'll do is create some presets. We'll get one for the booking link, one for LinkedIn outreach, one for email, one for podcast. That's actually optional. And then maybe we have time to do some stuff for ads. I want to definitely talk about YouTube ad strategy and Facebook ad strategy. We probably won't have time to get into that, but at least we can chat about it. So let's jump right in. So what I have up on my screen, this is actually your Dub account right here. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to go to calls to action. Okay. So we'll notice a couple of things are here. Number one is we've got, let me put my agenda over on this monitor. We've got the website linked to your website. So I think that looks really good. We've got, there it is, thebigpossible.com/the loom. Perfect. Now we've got your calendar booking page, which is actually a Calendly page. And this is how people are going to book time with you. So let's just take a look at what that looks like. So that's nice. That's perfect. You got some available dates. This is a chance for people to actually book a time directly on your calendar underneath the page. Super exciting. All right. The next thing that we have here is there's the Dub referral link. That's cool. We've got video reply, and then we've got an email link. So our calls to action are rock solid. Now, there is one thing that I do want to check out is on the dashboard. I'm going to actually enter you into the Dub partner program. And this way we ensure that you get recurring commissions. So that was done. It's kind of a one-click thing. So encourage everyone to go sign up for the partner program. It's that easy. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll go to presets. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a preset for the booking link. So this is the Tulum booking link. So the first thing I think I'll do is I will put this one, because this is the booking link. The next thing that I'll do is I'll put email me. I think that's another good one. And then now I noticed that there's two URLs here. So I'm actually curious to know what those are. So actually, these are the same thing. So we actually only need one of these. So that's great. Okay. So now the next thing that I'll do, I actually really like what you did with the booking video that you created, which I'll show in a moment here. And I like how you edited it with the testimonials like burned into the video. Most people don't do that. What most people do is they have a single video, they record it with the Dub mobile app, with the Dub Chrome extension, with the webcam, and then they have additional video testimonials or case study videos or anything that's sort of social proof, and they import it into their Dub account to auto play as a playlist. In this case, you actually don't need that. So you saved us a step here. I'm going to do some fine tuning here on the video. I'm going to auto play the video. I kind of like that feature. Let's transcribe the video automatically. Let's display an animated thumbnail. I think those are some really good settings that I like to see. Let's share this with our entire team in case you'd like to have some people support you. You can go back in and you can actually customize some of the colors. There's kind of a cool thing that you can do here with the background, just to kind of quickly show you what that would look like. I don't have a good image right now, but what I'll do is I'll just kind of show you what that would look like. If we were to take an image like this, you could actually go into your Dub account and you could import it right here. Now you have to make sure it's 1280 by 720. So I'm not going to do that one because it's not optimized, but you can do that on your own time. And then you can select, do you like the centered or do you like the left justified? This is really a preference thing. So for now, I'll keep centered. And then there it is. So now we have a preset for the Tulum booking link. So it sounds like right now, this is the majority of what you're doing for your business. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have a single preset. Now I did notice this beautiful Dub logo on the top left. As much as I'd love to see it there, I am going to upload your logo because your logo is what it's all about. So let's see if I can grab it real quick. Big Possible, there it is. It's beautiful. I'm going to upload that here. And now we've got your beautiful logo replacing the Dub logo. Boo-hoo, but that looks better. This is all about you. Okay. So what else are we going to do here? The next thing, okay, so that concludes the first step. We've got a preset built. Okay. So now you'll notice what happens here is that if you go to a page here, if you go to a video page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a URL and I'm actually going to test this in an incognito window. So now that I'm in an incog window, I'll notice that what happens is, actually, we got to configure this real quick. If we configure this right here, I'm going to check one thing. I want to go to your presets. I want to click the default button. This is actually something that I forgot to do. I want to click this default button so that every video that you create is now, it has this preset associated with it. So now I'm going to click on videos. I'm going to click on this. And then sure enough, Tulum booking link here moving forward, every single video is going to have this preset automatically assigned to it. Now think about that for a second. All of us have many functions in our job. We have 3 to 5 to 7 things that we do. For you, it's probably booking speakers, getting sort of sales discovery calls, sharing opportunity with sponsors, getting people onto your podcast. You've got multiple things. What I recommend doing is creating a preset for every single thing that you do. Have a default one, but then have it so that you can have multiple presets. That way you see different presets in here based on your activities. This is a set it and forget it type thing. So, this saves a ton of time. Okay. So now if I look at this URL, I'll go to incognito. And by the way, the reason why I go to the incognito window when I'm testing out a video is because I want to see what it looks like from their perspective, from the prospect's perspective, not from my perspective. Because when I'm logged into my Dub account, I'll see an edit button, I'll see different sort of clicks and buttons that might not be the full experience. So here it is. It's beautiful. We've got an auto playing video. We've got you, amazing. We've got auto captions here. Keep in mind that a lot of people do not have their sound on. Mm-hmm. So why not give them an opportunity to read this? You've got 2 calls to action here. You've got your, okay, so this is a fixing opportunity. We need to fix your Calendly link. We'll do that quickly. And then we've got your email here. So let's go ahead and troubleshoot that bug over there. Now I know that this is right. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the calls to action. Calls to action. I'm going to go to calendar here. I'm going to click on the edit icon. And then that looks good to me. Save and close. And then let's go back to that incog window.
Hey, what is happening? No, I hear.
Okay, so we're going to troubleshoot this. So it seems like there's some sort of an issue with the calendar integration. So we'll come back and correct that. Maybe you could. Yeah.
It looks like that's trying to load the website and not the calendar, actually.
Oh, so if that's the case, then I actually chose the wrong one. So then what we'll do here is, this is actually a best practice. What I like to do is I like to say calendar, and that way I don't mix it up. There's just no chance for a mistake. So what I'll do is I'll go back to presets. I'll click this. I'll delete that. I'll click plus calendar. I'll make this your first option. And then is there a website? One of the things that we should add back is a website. So that I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's save this, save and close. Now I want to go back to my calls to action. And actually what I want to do is I want to make sure that this one is correct here. This link right here. This looks perfect to me. So I'm just going to do something.
It's the one below it, that embed. I think that's the one that's broken.
That's the one that's busted. So best practice here is in your titles, make sure that you put text for what it is. Like I put website here, I put calendar here. This way we're not going to make a mistake. That's actually what I'm guilty of here, but no worries. We fixed it very quickly. One of the things that I'm really proud of is that if you have a live video out there and then you go do these types of edits in real time, it's all good. The video will update, so it's okay. It's not like sending an email and all of a sudden, everything's busted because you sent a bad email. So now let's go ahead and reload this page, and boom, there it is. It's the calendar booking page. So how powerful is that, guys? Let's just think about this for a second. We have spent years optimizing this particular Dub video landing page so that it will convert better than a typical website. And that's very, very powerful here. Okay. So what people can do is they can actually book a time in your calendar right here directly on this video page. And what they can also do is they can click to go to your website. So that's pretty powerful here. Okay. So now what we've done is just a quick recap is we've set up our calls to action. We've set up our presets. The next thing to talk about is YouTube ads and Facebook ads. So I'm going to be pretty brief on this because this is sort of a deep dive, and I think it's probably another video. But what I want to share is the following information. Okay. So a lot of people don't know this, but there's a way to connect Dub automation to Facebook lead ads. So let's think about that for a second. Let's unpack that, right? So when we go to Facebook, picture an ad that people can click on and that's pre-populated with data, okay? Typically what happens is if someone clicks on that, the form gets filled and that data that gets saved to Facebook. And then the marketer in this case has to log into Facebook and then download a CSV file. That's sort of stage one. Stage two is to connect like a Zapier, connect that to a marketing automation platform. Step three is to trigger automated workflows. And that's my favorite one. That's so powerful. Let's think about this for a second. There's a Facebook ads. Someone clicks on the button, it gets pre-populated, and I could probably pull up an image of this. Okay, it gets pre-populated. And then what happens is once they pre-populate that, it actually goes to a Dub automated workflow. Okay, that's powerful. Why is that powerful? It's powerful because we can nurture folks. Okay, it does not happen where someone just simply, fills out a form and then boom, they're a customer. There needs to be multiple touch points. You'll notice a lot of people say that there's 6 touch points, there's 8 touch points, there's 12 touch points. It takes a lot of effort to be able to convert someone. So here's what it looks like. They see an ad on Facebook. It's pre-populated with their first name and their email. They click submit, and then there's a success. Then they can actually visit another page, which could be a Dub video page. It could also be your website. But most beautifully about this is that that email then goes to an automated workflow, which sends them an automatic video email or SMS. So here's what it would sound like. Hey, this is Ruben from Dub. Thank you so much for filling out the ad on Facebook. Would love to connect. Click on the button below to learn more or to book a time in my calendar. Okay. That's immediate. There's a lot of data that talks about this idea where if you connect with someone within the first 5 minutes of their touch point, that you can increase your conversion rate by like 100 to 300%. Think about that. Okay. It's about speed. People like good customer service. So video automation is the answer for that. You can do this with SMS too, email or SMS. Very powerful. Okay. So that's my bit on Facebook lead ads. And then my next bit, my final bit, is on YouTube ads. Okay. So I sort of documented this here. Let me actually go ahead and share my screen. And what I always like to think about is how do we optimize our ads on YouTube and Facebook to make sure that we're not paying an unnecessarily amount of money. Okay. So here's kind of how I mapped that out, right? So the way that I mapped that out was like this. In our YouTube ads, number one is let's get our cookie pixel on Dub. And let's do this for Google and for Facebook. So that's something that we have to do in another call for your account.
Yeah.
The reason why that's important is because anytime someone visits a Dub video page, it can add them to a lookalike audience on Google, which is YouTube, and Facebook. So think about that for a second. They go to your Dub video page, and now you can add them to a lookalike or a retargeting audience on Google, YouTube, or Facebook. Very powerful, okay? The second thing that we should do is we should figure out what is the A/B test. So here it is. I always ask myself, what is the 1, 2, or 3 pages that we can test? So the first one that you have is a calendar booking page. It's an ask to ask people to book a time on their calendar. The next one is to get them to fill out a form, which is a minimal thing, and then to go to a calendar booking page. And then the third one, which I always love to see tested, is a Dub video landing page. Compete with your website. Use Dub to compete with your website. Do it for YouTube. Do it for Facebook. Have it look exactly like that page that I just showed just a moment ago, because I have a funny feeling it's actually going to work better because people are going to watch your video. They're going to have a clear call to action. They can book a time. They can email you. They can learn more. They can connect with you on LinkedIn. And that's what builds trust. And that's what ultimately, in my opinion, drives conversions. So that's where I want to conclude this. Noah, do you have any questions for me? I'd love to cap this out here. Don't want to make this too long. What do you got for me?
No, bro. I think after this call, I'm super pumped to get to the testing, back to the lab, and throw out these 3 different ways for the traffic to come in. I think seeing how clean it looks, like, because that was when I was doing it by myself, it was like a little clunky and it wasn't looking very nice. And then when you did it, it's like, oh, this looks great. So
yeah. It's about doing cycles. Every time you make little optimizations, and it eventually gets really good. So I'm here to support, Noah. So get in there and see what you can do, and come back to data, and we'll do another session.
Beautiful. Sounds good, man.
Thanks, man.